3 a.m. She was there again, staring at his profile, seeing him online, ignoring her messages. And it was at that exact moment that she discovered what Louise Hay always knew, but that no one ever really explained. You know that feeling, don't you? That feeling of being completely invisible to someone who should see you. Like you're a ghost, floating through his stories, his photos, his life, without truly existing. I'm going to tell you a story that will change all of that. But first, I need you to understand something. What you're about to discover isn't about him. It never was about him. It's about an energy you carry. And that, until now, has been completely dimmed. Louise Hay discovered this decades ago. She called it the mirror of the soul. But what she couldn't foresee is how this would translate to the digital world. How your profile would be the exact reflection of the energy you emanate to the universe. And there's a secret to this energy, a secret that makes some women absolutely irresistible, while others remain invisible forever. Have you noticed? There are women who post anything, and men go crazy. There are others who can post the most incredible photo in the world, and nothing, total silence. The difference isn't in beauty. It's not in the body. It's not even in what they write. The difference lies in something much deeper, something Louise Hay called the frequency of self-worth. Let me explain what that really means. When Louise Hay was at the height of her work, she discovered that people radiate exactly what they feel about themselves. If you feel invisible, you become invisible. If you feel inadequate, you become inadequate. And if you feel irresistible, you become irresistible. But here's what's fascinating and disturbing at the same time. In the digital world, this is amplified 1,000 times. Your profile doesn't just show your photos. It shows your energy, your frequency, the way you see yourself, and how you believe you deserve to be seen. And men, they feel this, unconsciously, like an emotional radar that never fails. They can't explain why a woman attracts them magnetically. They just know they can't stop thinking about her, looking at her profile, wanting to be near that energy. And that's the secret Louise Hay discovered, and that you're going to learn to apply today. She realized that there's a specific change, an internal transformation, that when it happens, it's instantly reflected in how the world sees you. In the case of your profile, this means very specific changes, changes that may seem small, but that activate something primitive in the male mind, something that makes them want to possess you, to conquer you, to have you. Now, I need you to be honest with me, and especially with yourself. When you look at your profile today, what do you see? Do you see a woman who knows her own worth? Or do you see someone trying to prove that she's worth something? Because that difference is everything. Louise Hay always said, the world is a mirror of our deepest thoughts about ourselves. And on Instagram, WhatsApp, Tinder, this becomes crystal clear. Women who truly value themselves, they don't need to show everything. They show enough to arouse curiosity. But they maintain mystery. They don't beg for attention. They radiate an energy that naturally attracts attention. And there's an exact formula for this. A formula that Louise Hay created to change self-image, and that today can be translated directly to your digital profile. But before I teach you this formula, I need you to understand something crucial. The man you want to conquer, he's not running away from you. He simply isn't feeling your energy. He isn't perceiving your value. Because maybe you yourself aren't radiating that value. And that's not your fault. No one taught you how to do this. No one explained that your profile is an extension of your soul. And if you don't truly love who you are, that will be visible in every photo, every caption, every story. Louise Hay called this irresistible self-love. And she discovered that when a woman really loves herself, when she really values herself, She becomes magnetic, literally magnetic. And in the digital world, this translates into very specific changes in your profile. Changes that make him stop scrolling the feed when he sees your photos. That make him go back to your profile several times a day. That make him obsessed with discovering more about you. First checkpoint. Take a deep breath. I know this is moving you. I know you're feeling something rearranging itself inside your chest. It's normal. It's your energy starting to realign. Now I'm going to tell you what really happened to Louise Hay and how it changed not only her life, but the lives of millions of women. Louise discovered that when you change the way you see yourself, the whole world changes the way it sees you. But she went further. She realized that there's a specific vibration, a specific frequency that makes you irresistible. She called this frequency magnetic self-love, and translating this to your profile means 3 fundamental changes you're going to make today. 3 changes that will activate something primitive in his mind. The first change is about what Louise Hay called conscious presence. Look, have you ever noticed how some women seem to be completely present in their own photos, as if they were totally connected to themselves? And others seem to be posing for approval. This difference is visceral, and men feel it immediately. Conscious presence means that when you take a photo, you're not thinking, will he like it? You're thinking, I love myself in this moment. And that energy is contagious. In your profile, this translates into photos where you seem genuinely happy, not forced happiness, genuinely connected to yourself. And there's a very specific way to achieve this. A technique that Louise Hay used, and that works perfectly for photos. Before taking any photo, you're going to do this. You're going to look in the mirror and say, I love myself. I value myself. I deserve to be seen and desired. And you're going to feel it for real. You're going to let that energy take over your body. Only then will you take the photo. The difference is absurd. It's as if you're radiating light from the inside out. The second change is about what Louise Hay called magnetic mystery. She noticed that the most attractive people in the world, they never reveal everything about themselves at once. They maintain layers, depth, mystery. On your profile, this means stopping showing your entire life, stopping explaining every detail of what you feel, starting to cultivate genuine curiosity. For example, instead of posting, I'm sad today, you post a pensive photo of yourself with the caption, some reflections are deeper in silence. Instead of telling the whole story of your day, you leave clues. You create questions in his mind. And this activates something primitive in men, the hunting instinct, the need to discover more, to decipher you. Louise Hay always said, mystery is the spice of attraction. And she was right. The third change is the most powerful of all. It's about what Louise Hay called abundance energy. Women with abundance energy don't chase. They attract. They don't beg for attention. They radiate an energy that makes others want to give them attention. On your profile, this means showing that you have a rich life, full, interesting, that you're not waiting for someone to be happy. You already are happy. And when he sees this, when he realizes that you are a complete, fulfilled woman who doesn't need him to be happy, he'll want to be a part of that happiness. It's basic psychology. We always want what seems to not need us. Now, here's where it gets interesting, and where Louise Hay was truly genius. She discovered that these 3 energies, conscious presence, magnetic mystery, and abundance, they need to be aligned, working together, creating an energetic harmony that becomes absolutely irresistible. And on your profile, this means very specific changes that you will implement today. Changes in the way you pose, in the way you write, in the way you present yourself to the world. Changes that will make him stop everything he's doing and become obsessed with discovering who this new version of you is. But let me tell you a real story before we continue. A story that shows exactly how this works in practice. I met a woman named Marina. She had been trying for months to get her ex's attention. She posted incredible photos, funny stories, tried to show that she was doing well. But nothing. Zero reaction. Until the day she applied exactly what Louise Hay taught about magnetic energy. Marina changed 3 simple things on her profile, and in less than 24 hours, he not only viewed all her stories, but he started reacting to old photos from months ago, as if he were studying every detail of her life. And do you know what the difference was? Marina stopped posting for him and started posting for herself. This energetic shift. It's almost magic, because when you truly stop seeking external validation, you automatically become irresistible. Louise Hay discovered this by studying human behavior for decades. She realized that there's a universal law. What you chase runs away from you. What you release comes running back. And in the digital world, this becomes even more evident. Think about it. How many times have you posted something expecting a specific reaction from someone? And how many times did that person simply ignore it? Now think about the times you posted something genuinely happy without thinking about anyone specific. How many people reacted? How much more attention did you receive? Exactly. It's inversely proportional. The less you seek attention, the more attention you receive. The less you need validation, the more validation comes to you. Louise Hay called this the law of magnetic attraction, and translating it to your profile, it means very specific changes that I'm going to teach you now. First, let's talk about the photos. The conscious presence I mentioned isn't about looking perfect. It's about appearing authentic, genuine, connected with yourself. And there's a visceral difference between a woman who's posing to impress and a woman who's simply being herself. Men feel this difference immediately. It's like a primitive radar that detects authenticity versus performance. So here's the first specific technique. Before taking any photo, you're going to do an energy connection exercise. You'll close your eyes, breathe deeply 3 times, and ask yourself, how do I feel right now? What do I want to express? Not, how do I want to look? But, what do I want to express? And only then will you take the photo. Focusing on expressing that feeling, not on looking perfect. The difference in the result is absurd. The photos come alive. They radiate energy, and men feel it subconsciously. Now, about the magnetic mystery. Louise Hay always said that mystery is the difference between being interesting and being predictable. And on your profile, this means 3 fundamental changes. First, stop explaining everything. If you're happy, you don't need to tell the reason in minute detail. Leave a simple caption like, "Days like these are rare and precious." And that's it. Second, show fragments of your life. Not complete documentaries. A photo of breakfast without showing the rest of the day. A beautiful landscape without saying where you are. A book you're reading without doing a complete review. Third, use the power of suggestion. Instead of, "I went to the movies to see such and such a movie," post, "Some stories touch our souls in unexpected ways." Instead of, "I'm in love," post, "There are smiles we can't hide." And this activates something very primitive in the male mind, the need to decipher, to discover, to conquer what is not fully available. Louise Hay realized that human beings always desire more of what they cannot have completely, and this applies perfectly to social media. When you show everything, there's nothing left to discover. When you tell the whole story, there's no mystery left to unravel. But when you leave clues, when you suggest without fully revealing, you activate the hunting instinct. And then he can't stop thinking about you. Now, about the energy of abundance. This is the most powerful of all. Abundance energy means showing that you have a full life, rich, interesting, that you're not waiting for someone to be complete. And on your profile, this translates to showing your passions, your hobbies, your moments of genuine happiness, your accomplishments, your experiences. But be careful. There's a very fine line between showing abundance and appearing to be trying to impress. The difference is in the intention. If you're posting to show how amazing your life is, that comes across as disguised neediness. If you're posting because you genuinely love that moment, this radiates as real abundance. Louise Hay taught that true abundance comes from within. And when you feel real abundance, you naturally attract more abundance. So here's the technique. Before posting anything about your life, ask yourself, am I sharing this because I love this moment, or because I want to prove something to someone? If the answer is the second option, don't post. Wait until you genuinely feel the joy of that moment. And then, when you post, the energy will be completely different. It will be contagious, irresistible. But here's where Louise Hay was truly genius and where most people fail. She realized that these three energies need to work together to create an energetic symphony that becomes absolutely magnetic. Conscious presence without mystery becomes exhibitionism. Mystery without abundance becomes disguised neediness. Abundance without conscious presence becomes empty ostentation. But when the three are aligned, when you manage to be authentic, mysterious, and abundant at the same time, you become irresistible. And there's a very specific way to achieve this alignment. Louise Hay created an exercise she called the mirror of the soul, and adapting it to the digital world. It works like this. Every time you're going to post something, you'll ask yourself three things. Does this post reflect who I really am? Conscious presence. Does this post leave something to be discovered? Magnetic mystery. Does this post show that I have a rich and fulfilling life? Abundance energy. If the answer is yes to all three, post. If it's no to any of them, readjust until they're all yes. And here's what will happen when you start applying this. First, you'll notice a change in yourself. You'll feel more confident, more centered, more connected with who you really are. Second, other people will start reacting differently to your posts. More likes, more comments, more genuine interest. And third, he will start to notice. He'll start paying attention. He'll start wondering what changed in you. Because energetically, you will have changed. And that will be perceptible in every pixel of your profile. But there's more. Louise Hay discovered something even deeper about magnetic attraction. She realized that when you really love yourself, when you really value yourself, you stop tolerating behaviors that don't value you. And this creates a fascinating domino effect. You become selective, demanding. You stop giving attention to those who don't give you attention. And you know what happens when you do that? When you stop chasing and start selecting? People start competing for your attention, including him. Because psychologically, we always want what seems not to need us, what is not desperate for our approval. And in the digital world, this means stopping liking all his photos, stopping responding to all his stories, stopping being always available when he appears, not out of games, not out of strategy, but because you genuinely have more important things to do, because you genuinely have a life that fulfills you. And this energetic shift, it's irresistible. He will feel that something has changed, that you have changed, and he will want to find out what it is. Second checkpoint. Feel your breath, feel your energy. Something is transforming within you at this very moment. Can you feel it? It's the awakening of your magnetic energy. It's Louise Hay working through time and space to remind you of who you really are, a powerful woman, magnetic, irresistible. Now, I'm going to teach you the specific changes you're going to implement on your profile today. The first practical change is about your profile picture. This is the first impression he'll have when he looks for you. And Louise Hay always said that first impressions are energetic, not just visual. Your profile picture can't look like you're trying to impress. It needs to look like you're simply being yourself, authentic, present, connected. Here's the secret. Choose a photo where you are genuinely happy, not smiling for the camera, smiling for life, where your eyes are really shining. And if you don't have a photo like that, take one now. But first, do the energetic exercise I taught you. Connect with yourself, feel your worth, and only then press the button. The difference will be visceral, because energy doesn't lie. And a photo taken with genuine self-love, it radiates something that no filter in the world can create. The second change is about your captions. And this is where Louise Hay would be revolutionary in the digital world. Stop explaining your feelings in minute detail. Stop telling the whole story behind every moment. Start suggesting, alluding, leaving clues. Instead of, woke up sad today because I dreamed about him. Write, some dreams visit us to teach us something about ourselves. Instead of, I'm feeling lonely. Write, loneliness is sometimes the path to finding who we really are. See the difference? One version is exposed neediness. The other is suggested depth. And this activates something powerful in the male mind. The need to decipher, to understand, to approach to discover more. The third change is about posting frequency. And this goes against everything you probably believe about social media. Louise Hay discovered that true abundance doesn't need to be constantly proven. It's simply felt. So stop posting every day. Stop documenting every moment of your life. Start being selective, discriminating. Post only when you have something really significant to share. This creates two powerful things: scarcity and intensity. When you post less, each post gains more weight, more importance. People pay more attention because they know it's not just anything. And he will start to expect your posts, to pay attention when you appear on his feed. Because subconsciously, he will know that if you post it, it's because it's worth seeing. The fourth change is about interaction. And this is where most women make the fatal mistake. They're liking everything he posts, commenting on all the photos, responding to all the stories, as if they were marking digital territory. But Louise Hay taught that chasing energy disperses our own energy. And this applies perfectly to social media. So stop liking everything he posts. Stop reacting to all the stories. Be selective, discriminating. Interact only when you feel genuine desire, not when you're trying to get attention. And this will activate something primal in his mind. He'll start noticing when you like something less. He'll value your attention more, because it will be rarer. The fifth change is about stories. And this is where you can apply the magnetic mystery most intensely. Your stories don't need to show your whole life. They can show interesting fragments, intriguing moments, clues about who you are, a picture of a book you're reading without showing which one it is, a beautiful landscape without showing where you are, a song playing without explaining why you chose it. And this will make him curious. It will make him pay attention to the details. It will activate him to try to decipher who you really are. The sixth change is about your bio, that small space that defines who you are digitally. Louise Hay always said that words have power, and your bio needs to reflect a woman who loves herself, who has purpose, who is not desperate for approval. Avoid phrases like, I just want to be happy, or looking for true love. This shows neediness. Prefer something that reflects your essence, your passions, your depth. I collect moments that touch the soul, or I believe in the magic of new beginnings, something that sparks curiosity, that makes people want to know more about you. And now, the most powerful change of all, the one Louise Hay considered fundamental for any real transformation. You need to stop living your digital life for him and start living for yourself. This means posting things that genuinely make you happy, sharing moments that really matter to you, expressing who you truly are, not who you think he would want you to be. Because when you do that, when you stop performing and start being, your energy changes completely. And he will feel this change. He will notice that something is different, that you have changed. And he will want to find out what happened, because energetically, you will have become a different person, more authentic, more centered, more magnetic. And here's what will happen when you apply all these changes. First, you will feel different, more confident, more connected to yourself, less dependent on external approval. Second, other people will start reacting differently to you. More interest, more curiosity, more respect. And third, he will start noticing, paying attention, wondering what changed in you. And when he starts trying to understand this new version of you, when he starts seeking your attention, you will be in a completely different position, because you will no longer need him to feel complete. You will already be complete. And then he will want to be a part of that completeness. Third checkpoint, feel what's happening inside you. This feeling of power returning, of value being recognized, of magnetism being awakened. It's Louise Hay working through you, reminding you of who you always were beneath all this need for approval. A magnetic woman. Powerful, irresistible. And now, in the second part, I'm going to teach you exactly how to implement each of these changes, step by step, so that in 24 hours, he will be completely obsessed with discovering this new version of you. Here is your action plan for the next 24 hours. First, change your profile picture now. Choose one where you are genuinely happy, where your energy is radiant. If you don't have one like that, take one right now. But remember the energy exercise first. Second, rewrite your bio. Remove anything that sounds needy or desperate. Put something that sparks curiosity about who you really are. Third, delete old posts that were clearly made to get his attention. Keep only those that show your true essence. Fourth, stop liking and commenting on his posts for the next 7 days. Complete silence. Let your energy realign. Fifth, post something today that reflects your 3 new energies: conscious presence, magnetic mystery, and abundance. But post it for yourself, not for him. And here's what will happen. In the first few hours, he may not notice consciously, but unconsciously, something will move him. In 12 hours, he will start to miss you. He will notice that you are no longer paying attention to him. In 24 hours, he will be looking at your profile, trying to understand what changed, why you seem different, why he can't stop thinking about you. And do you know why? Because you will have reconnected with your original magnetic energy, the one Louise Hay always knew existed within you. You will no longer be the invisible woman at 3 a.m, stalking his profile. You will be the woman he can't get out of his head. Remember the story from the beginning? That woman at 3 a.m, feeling invisible? Maybe she was never really invisible. Maybe she had just forgotten how to shine. And now you remembered. Louise Hay would be proud, because you have just rediscovered what she always knew you were. Magnetic, powerful, irresistible. And he will feel it. In the next 24 hours, you can bet on it.